Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the main stage. It's Rocket League time on this Friday afternoon. I'm Mr. Bepek, of course, with the magnificent Volts. How you doing, my friend?
Super excited to be here, Bepek. We've been rumored to have a triple header for a couple weeks now, and on this wonderful Friday afternoon, we get it.
Oh, yeah, and starting off with UAB versus Alabama with a sub, and those are three key words at the end of Alabama's name right there, because it is Brock that is not playing. So maybe UAB's got more of a chance in this best of five than maybe they anticipated.
We'll see how this one turns out. Brock being absent is a huge storyline there. It was not planned from what we've been told. Alabama struggling to, find Brock. He's MIA when he is needed. So they are going to roll with a sub there. They've locked up the number one seed, Bepek, so not really a sense of urgency on their end. But Brock's absence could hand the opposition a win, and that changes a lot.
It definitely does, because later on in this main stage slate of games, we've got UAB versus USA for potentially that last playoff spot, because, of course, a quick rundown, Auburn's locked number one, Alabama's locked number one in Group B, UNA's locked number two in Group A, and then it's just that one last number two spot in Group B that UAB in this series still fighting for with USA.
Well, this one is into the back of the net early here. No Brock, no problem, because Buck is still on the pitch. And just like that, 1 goal, 4 seconds in. You know, there's a chance. I'm not sure which one of the players, if it was Chan or Arie, is the one that is not warmed up, Bepek. So I'm not sure who it is, but Buck clearly warmed up.
I believe it's Arie, as they are listed as the number 4 player. As they were swept in to cover Brock's tracks in this one, and so far, they're looking all right, I think. They are keeping South Alabama pinned back for now, and they still seem like very much the faster team.
Alabama all over the Jags right now. He tried to get it back in, but this is all the way back out to Buck. He had a full tank of boost, looking for the passing play. Chan is up, connection was there. Buster just not going to have it. This is a good touch to the sidewall. Buck in a little bit of danger here. Buster is all over him. Can't get up for this one. Boom Man doesn't quite have the double. There it is. Crossbar, and it won't go in. Buck gets it out of the danger zone. Early opportunity. Just can't get any friendly help.
That would have been a golden opportunity to equalize, but could not get it. Still playing with that deficit, but trending in the right direction. Though Chan can change things with this play right here. The drop down to Buck, all too easy to finish. Great jump back from that near concession earlier.
What a pass from Chan here. Pinches this one on the back wall, and it drops straight down. Man, that is a fantastic pass, and Buck's not going to miss those. So 2 opportunities, 2 goals for Buck, and just like that, 2-0, Bepek, and we're threatening to get out of hand here early.
Oh, yeah, especially with that. Another crucial miss in the defensive end is not going to help the case of South Alabama. They need to really tighten up their back line if they're going to have any hope of taking a game off Alabama.
And again, it's crucial that they do get a game. This is going to be the series to get it from them as well. Again, not at full strength here, but I mean, quite frankly, I don't really see too much difference besides the fact that there's no Brock to be floating through the air. Bucks having a fantastic game, number 1. Chan up to his usual activities in the sub. Again, called in at the last minute, is doing a great job of performing despite no warm-up. Oh my.
We see it right there. Great save from Boomman, but that was a phenomenal shot from Arie. And now Chan back to his antics, got the bump as well, but there was a counter bump there in the midfield. So Alabama going to have to retreat momentarily, though it's Buck now with the ball. Not the player you want to see if you're a fan of South Alabama, and his presence combined with Chan's is enough to fake that defense out.
Yeah, that's a great sell by Chan here. I'm not sure if he's intentionally going for that fake or if he's looking for a redirect, but he had even me fooled there. Nathan goes flying past, and just like that, 4-0. We're not even 2 minutes in. It might be time to go next for the Jags.
They have to figure out this Alabama team, because right now they're getting outsped, and every single mistake they make, no matter how slight, is being punished. Another miss there by Nathan Johns. Maybe a bit nervous, realizing how important this game truly is. Either way, Buster, chance to change something. 50 boost, beats 1. Nathan Jones And no touch there either. Couldn't get the bump, and now Boomman potentially caught out. Out to the side goes that ball, and that net defended by one. Good touch from Buster to send it away.
Good demo, though, will keep the pressure. Nathan Jones off that back wall, can't beat Buck, and Buster will be forced to boom it to the side. Boomman with a lone touch up, at least got some kind of extension to go here for Alabama. Chance stayed up and almost had that double. That would have been an impressive play. Boomman with a good beat on third, has an open net here, just had to recorrect and couldn't find the touch. The ball just a little bit too far out of his clutches there to make a good touch, and first minute goes by, Bepic, where we haven't had a goal. 2 minutes left.
It's better defense from South Alabama, though they need to be hitting those open nets. And at this point, just looking for maybe one or two to get a more respectable scoreline. Nathan Jones inbound had the help of Boomman, but it's too late. Ball had already been turned out to the side. Now Buster right back in. Buck right back out to Chan this time around. A little help from his friend to clear it out of the zone and into the blue half. Nathan Jones slowing things down. A lot of boost in the tank, and Chan just going to sit there and allow Nathan Jones to go by. Now trying to get it through area. Could not there. Still a chance for South Alabama here, thanks to some slow play there in the midfield.
Long boom here ahead. Buck off the ceiling, Chan off the sidewall, and what a play that would have been. Alabama looking for these highlight reel goals, Bepic, and as we near the 1 minute mark now, it's definitely time for USA to go next. They really have to hit the drawing board as far as what they can do, because, I mean, this game has been all UAB.
Yep. And just stalling time out here. Not going to give anything USA's way. Smart from Alabama. They can feel, I'm sure, that they are the better team here. Even without Brock, they still have Chan and Buck leading the offensive charge here, and their speed is unmatched on the pitch right now. So if you're USA, you're going to have to figure out how to counter that. Maybe slow the play down. We saw it a bit earlier where Nathan Jones got through one thanks to a slow play. Just didn't have the mechanical ability in that instance to get it through anymore. So we'll see how they adjust in game 2, Volts. They have a tough situation on their hands.
Yes, they do indeed. It just doesn't look like they were ready for the speed. Buck and Chan, again, on this front end, really bringing an unparalleled amount of speed. That almost forced an own goal as Chan caught the inside of the post but couldn't get a friendly bounce. This one will go final once it hits the ground. And just like that, Alabama lurches out to a game number 1 resounding win.
They had quite the fast start there, though. 2 of those goals were off of defensive mistakes. So if USA figures out how to shore those up, then maybe it's a bit closer until the very end, because Alabama's offense did slow down a bit. USA were finding better touches defensively and clearing the zone a bit more, but still conceded 9 shots to their 4. They'll definitely have to figure out how to turn those clears into better offense.
Yeah, and the big issue starts up front with Buck. He scored 4 goals, Bepic, on 5 shots. You have to limit the amount of looks he gets at the net and just continue to really control the pace of the game. It felt like Alabama got into that run-and-gun style. They're okay to give up some counterattacks because they're just going to counterattack right back. They're just going to take another swing at you, and they really thrive in what many would consider the chaos versus the standard offensive setup.
They were speed that game, just zipping around the field and taking challenges as they came. No real strategy, just kind of playing their game like it's a ranked game. They're just having a good time, and that doesn't bode well for the Jags. So, game 2 here, and it's an important one because I don't see USA reverse sweeping Alabama. They have to make it close here, keep things manageable until the very end.
We'll see if they can do that. Bepic, under your theory, this becomes a must-win game for them. Yep. And so if that does hold true, are game 2 in a best-of-5 ever important? And right back to the blue end we go, back to the offensive end for Alabama, where they have made a home. Nathan got a good bump, though, to slow down Buck. He's got nothing in the tank. Good 50 from Buster, but we can't escape the blue zone. Bepic, 20 seconds in. It's looking like just a continuation of game number 1.
Well, we'll see what Alabama can do with this, because right now it's kind of a whole lot of nothing, though it opens up a chance there. Good stuff by by Nathan Jones. That is what's about him there. And the 50 not going to go the way of South Alabama, and Bucks still in the offensive zone. They're just biding their time, the Crimson Tide, before they can strike, though. That's a clearance opportunity. Now, Nathan Jones looking to follow up and a pop out to the sidewall. Great stuff, surviving your defensive stand, though, Buster. A tough read there, couldn't make it, and then a miss from Nathan Jones undoes everything good that USA just had going.
Yeah, such a good job to escape the zone, and then a little bit too slow in the midfield. No touch, and yeah, Buck had no touch all the way there. Was already under that one well before it got there. And just like that, back in front, Alabama 1-0. A rough start for USA.
Oh no, and here comes Buck to make it a bit rougher. Had two up. That'll open up Chan for a potential shot, though. Skies it, and Buster's able to take it away. A dangerous look once more, and USA still looking for that substantial clear. There's a miss. Chan off the back wall. Wants the weird dish. I've never seen anything like that. Had it gone in, I think there's a reason that I haven't seen anything like it. It's too tough for Chan in that instance, but Bama's still keeping it going offensively. And there's a skied shot. Rebound, though, is good.
He really just took that from Buck. I think it was in if he doesn't touch it. Buck had no boost to double it, and then this is a great shot from Chan. Still, even with the no Brock, he's in that third man role and all season long. He just doesn't miss these. He's the perfect cleanup third man. He puts so many good shots into the back of the net, and that will be a 2-goal lead for Alabama. Though the Jags off kickoff do have an opportunity. 2 no touches and a team bump from Alabama, but they'll make it play.
All right, Boo Man. 50 boost in the tank. What can you show us? Shot off the crossbar, but sets up Buster for the finish. Great work taking advantage of all that space.
Yeah, that's a big goal for him. Gets it under the first challenger. Chan nowhere to be found, and Buck, a little bit too much faith in his teammates there. Turned up field for some boost and couldn't quite scramble back. Just like that, lead cut in half. First signs of life for USA off the kickoff, and they win another one here, but Buck not going to let a repeat of last goal happen.
We're starting to see the point in the series where a team that has been dominant starts to get a bit too confident. They start to concede goals, and we'll see if Alabama stays too confident and allows South Alabama a path back into this series, or if Bama can do enough to take this game too and head to game 3 on match points from their back line. Boomman at it again, trying to set up the equalizer, and 2 jump for that. Very fortunate to have won that challenge and keep South Alabama pinned back, but they're starting to move forward here. Great 50 though by Chan.
Brock with a good takeaway as well. Buck there with a good takeaway. Big demo from Buster, and that'll give him some room to breathe for now. Booman had nothing to get it out with, though. Hook shot coming in and hook shot in, and that is a 3-1 lead. Alabama not content to sit on the lead.
That's just tough. Booman had really nothing to do there on the sidewall, and they're just hitting it right to Buck, and there was no follow-up thanks to a poor recovery, and then something like just have to sit back expecting a hard shot coming in. It is a big puzzle. I say this every week because it feels like there's a team that is adept at putting their teams in those big 1,000-piece puzzle situations, and right now it is Alabama doing that to South Alabama. I guess the North is reigning supreme right now.
Indeed, it is, and the boys from Tuscaloosa look really, really good right now, even not at full strength. Chan beat 2. Buster will get a big clearance, though. Neither of the second or third man wanted to commit there as Buster comes flying in. Buck dropped this mid only to find a blue octane, and now we're stuck in the midfield a little bit until Chan cleans up the mess one more time, and Epic, I think the attention now turns to game 3.
I think you're right there. So much trust on the side of Alabama. I've been watching Buck's cam because I can. He's so much fun to just camp and see what he's up to. And right there, hit the ball. New Chan was right behind him and dipped. Went to the corner to get boost and allowed his teammate to do the rest of the work. So Alabama in just free movement mode. They are doing everything they can, everything they need to, and it's netted them a 3-goal lead.
I'll be honest, today has been really fun for me because we've gotten to see Chan fill his usual role, but also go for a couple more touches that he doesn't really get to when Brock is on the pitch. Again, that Brock Buck connection. I mean, Brock is just all over the place, and then Buck similar play style there, and it really forces Chan to stay home as the third man as he almost finds his hat trick right on cue. But today he's gotten a little bit more freedom and a little bit more boost in the tank to make some of these plays happen, and it's really great to watch what he's able to do when Brock is not on the pitch.
I think what we've seen from Bama in this series is just how good Buck and Chan are, even when Brock's not there. Like, Brock, obviously a grinder in the bubble scene close to the top there, and very, very good, but Buck and Chan kind of get overshadowed sometimes, and they have proven that they are up there with him, and Buster has proven that he can still score in Alabama.
Buster's having a great game number 2 here. He's doing everything he can to keep his team in this one. That one's placed perfectly into the bottom right corner, but with 36 left, we're gonna need some more magic out of him, or someone else on his team's gonna have to come to life if they would like to somehow force overtime here in game number 2.
Ooh.
Oh, that's an opportunity. That's a big miss, and that would have been what we needed.
Yep. Slowly improving in this series. It was 4-0 in the last game, 4-2 in the game prior. Make it or 4-0, sorry. I was still looking at that scoreboard, which is now 5-2. So my point is kind of moot. That's just nice passing from Bama. They can do it all.
Yeah, what a back pass. What a back pass. It gets around Boo Man. It's weighted heavy enough to where Air Yi can get it into the back of the net, and I mean, that's just picture perfect, Bepic. It caps off game number 2, and now the rest of it, as I love to say, becomes a formality here. We finish the 15 seconds, the teams take a quick breather, and we get back to game number 3. You said that USA had to win this game because you didn't think they could reverse sweep Alabama. Well, we're going to put that to the test here, because if they can somehow take game number 3, we'll see if this Alabama team can overcome some adversity.
Yeah, by my logic, this series is over, but it's not. Obviously, we're still playing game 3, and with a game win there, USA can put themselves in a decent spot when they go up against UAB in the next series. Not on stream, but that'll be the 3rd series tonight. I'm getting ahead of myself. They can do something for their game differential. Maybe not take the series against Alabama, but they can at least make UAB sweat a bit more later on.
We'll see if it's possible here. Alabama not wanting to get complacent, Bepic. The offense has flowed in all of the games. They've played hard until the last couple minutes. Even into the last seconds, we've seen them try to score here. Yep. So I don't think we see any difference here. This one very well could end in 3 as Buck with a little suspect kickoff there. Very rare that players at that level mess up their kickoff. Doesn't matter with the air dribble in Bepic. We barely even talked about the 4th man as he again is now getting overshadowed by the Buck and Chan show, but that is quite the play.
That was a beaut area, getting outshadowed by Buck and Chan in this series, obviously, but still having his moment in the limelight. That was beautiful. And in the first 10 seconds, already kind of dashing the hopes of USA of just taking a game in this series. And off note, we haven't talked about it yet. Alabama has not yet dropped a game in Group B. So without Brock today, they were still playing for their undefeated game scoreline, and I think they're fairly close to keeping it.
We'll see if they can do that. Booman off the back wall. We'll put this one back into that blue corner. Chan's shot will be turned away, but it's still in a bad spot. Booman able to bail him out. Chan stole corner. Chan with plenty of boost will force 2 off the back wall. Buck flying in, can't drop it down. And Air Yi tries to put it top corner, just can't quite put it home. But no one from USA able to counterattack that one at mid. Buck instead takes that low 50 on the second man, beats the 3rd follow-up from Chan, and Buck will steal that one just for fun, but it's 2-0 Alabama.
Buck still doing what he does best, moving around the field with a constant flow, and a definite steal right there. That was good placement by Chan, just had to put it on net. And Buck was right there to take it away. I think Alabama's definitely having fun in this one, and we've seen what they can do when they're having a good time.
I would say the only one Chan had to beat if he wanted that goal was Buck in that net, and just couldn't quite beat his own teammate there. So as we move deeper into game number 3, it's another great start for Alabama, and another rough one for USA. Bepic. They have been down by at least 2 in all 3 of the games within the first minute, and this one no different.
It's just fast starts from Alabama. I wouldn't even call it slow starts from USA. Bama they're the better team, rank-wise, experience-wise. There's not too much to break down at this point. The better team did win this series in convincing fashion, and they are going to continue to keep winning in a convincing fashion unless they just stop driving around or start going for quadruple flip resets. And frankly, I'm excited to see Bama carry this forward into playoffs. They will be playing, I believe, UNA. Yes, actually, I know for a fact it's UNA Volts. And UNA, I would say, is a much better team than UAB and USA. So maybe UNA gives Alabama a run for their money.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. That is next Friday for those of you wanting to come back and see the result of that one. It will be next Friday at 5 p.m. So it'll be the show starter for us here on the main stage. And yeah, Bepik, that's a big one there. I'm not... I'd have to say Bama is going to be favored in that one, especially after the performance today as Erke with the hat trick here. Even the performance today with the sub playing for the best player. This is a resounding win and gives me a lot of confidence to pick Bama in that series.
Well, I think right now where this main stage landscape stands, Bama and Auburn are the 2 favorite teams, I think, across all 3 esports. But it's just about making it competitive for kind of the smaller schools. And that's why Alabama and Auburn are favored, is because they are bigger schools. They've got more people to play at a higher level. And it's up to the underdogs to take them down a peg. It's going to make playoffs so interesting. And Alabama still going at USA's throat here, Volts. 4-0 with half a game left. Just looking for 1 goal, I think, at this point.
Yeah, just hunting that 1 goal. Maybe they'll find something. Nathan Jones will find an open net, and maybe that's what they need to somehow get back in here. You're on the board. The first one's off your back, and we'll see if they can find 3 more here.
It is possible. And they're going to need to keep exploiting Alabama's missed rotations like they just did right there. And maybe an incredible solo play to tie us up. I don't know what exactly they've got to do, but I hope they have some semblance of an idea. 2 minutes left, down 3. We'll see what USA's got.
That was a great pre-jump there by Chan to allow no space to Nathan. Buster now off this sidewall, got a touch around 1. Boomman with a good follow. Save is a dangerous one, and that'll be goal number 2. Nathan's picked up a second.
All right, maybe some credence given to this comeback. I like it. Missed touch there by Erke and Nathan Jones. A phenomenal shot. They started off this series very shaky, but they have come into their own in this best of 5. I'm very proud of how they've looked late in this series, even though Alabama's kept firm control of it, and that point, no different.
Late in game number 2 and now late here in game number 3, they have looked stellar. It's almost like it takes them a couple minutes to get going. And speaking of getting going, that demo facilitates goal number 3. And what was a 4-0 lead, Bepik, in a matter of 30 plus seconds is now 4-3.
I like it. I just snapped back to attention, seeing what the Jags have for us. That's an impressive run for them. And now Alabama needing to stop the bleeding because they might have just snapped back awake as well. Like I said, they were just kind of flowing, doing whatever they wanted, but now they can't. And now they got to find maybe 1 goal more to feel a bit more comfortable here at the end of game 3.
We'll see if Alabama can get that 1 goal to take some of the pressure off. Buck, what a shot that would have been. Chance follow-up is a rare miss out of that situation. And score remains 4-3. Nathan on the counterattack, connecting with Boomman. He beat Buck. Follow-up shot will not come through. And Erke with a great redirect. Buck will add a redirect to the table. And Chan's follow-up shot turned away. Wow, this is quite the breakdown here. 45 left, and there is a chance that we could possibly find overtime.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a big push right here. Good stop by Chan to slow down the play, and Buck right in position to find a teammate. He pre-jumped that pass, though. He's still playing confident, and rightfully so. They still got a 1-0 lead, 30 seconds left. But that could give some space to make a transition happen, though. Nathan Jones slow playing right there is not the idea. You got to go fast. You don't have much time to score this equalizer.
Valuable seconds burned off the clock, but the team pinch got it back down to the correct end. Chan won a 50. Buck's shot is a weak one, and it will not be the game ender. But with 5 on the clock, we're on the wrong side of the pitch, and it's likely going to require 0 seconds, and it will not even happen. This one straight to the ground, and Alabama has pulled off the 3-0 sweep.
Well, I got excited there for a second. USA really put up a good fight at the end, but at the end of the day, 19 shots conceded. That's kind of tough to overcome, especially when you only put 5 up yourself, and that is the story, I think, of that series. Alabama's offense is just indomitable. I think it's the story of the entirety of Group B votes. Alabama is just too quick, too mechanical, too clean for USA and UAB.
Yeah, USA fighting chance, maybe a little bit too little too late. They were already down 4. Their defense really struggled to suppress that Alabama team, and for good reason. Again, we've harped on the talent. You've seen it, 19 shots. Sounds about right for what we just watched.
Yep, and coming up next, Auburn taking on UNA for one final time in Group A. It's a formality kind of for seeding, but for momentum, that is a pretty important best of 5. So don't go anywhere. The main stage, you're going to be right back.
I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, liar.
And welcome back. Second series on the night here at the main stage Rocket League. And we got Auburn versus UNA. This was a sweep going in favor of Auburn last time around, Volt. So now UNA going to try and bounce back from that.
Yep, definitely need to bounce back. This is, again, as we talked about, kind of a formality here as far as a series goes, but still going to be hard fought nonetheless. More for momentum. You would love to take a win over your opponent here just to continue the roll if you're Auburn, and then, of course, build some momentum if you are UNA. Both these squads at full strength today, so we'll see who's feeling better.
Well, for UNA, this is definitely a big series just for confidence because they will be playing Alabama next Friday in the first round of playoffs for a land spot. And if you can make Auburn sweat a bit, then you can make Alabama sweat. So we'll see what they can do. A decent start for them. They have had the early pressure here. Auburn with just a quick stint of offense compared to the more lengthy tries from Gallion and company. And there it is, the opener for North Alabama.
That's a great shot there, just bigger in the box. No other way to put it. Gallion takes on 2 and wins the 50 low straight into the back of the net. And 42 seconds in, Bepic. Not the start that we were expecting, but we knew this was a possibility.
Yes, we did. UNA, I said they were the third best team in the last series, and I'm going to stick to that. But Auburn, they are slow starters sometimes. I know that for a fact. Oof. And there's potentially a response, a couple of misses, but Bro Turkey couldn't commit with confidence in that instant. So the Tigers going to have to retreat and try again.
Musty ceiling attempt did not quite come through. Gallion low in the boost tank. Did a good enough job to fake Gray out. So the clearance not an immediate one. That's a big miss, though, from Red Dead Payne. And the mid pass just barely cut out. Bro Turkey wanted to find Gray. Big miss from Broco there. Looks like he might have clicked the wrong buttons as that was not his usual self. But the pressure will sustain.
Oh, good couple of demos there by both sides, kind of balancing one another out, and then that double miss will do the same. Vroco back pass to Bro Turkey, looking for the double here. Gallion's on the back wall, misses. Gray comes in, skies the shot. Vroco the rebound attempt is good, and we're all knotted up.
Took Auburn a little bit longer than we expected, but it does come through. Gray with a great pass. Vroco puts that one home. Gray almost made the save. And just like that, 1-1, almost 2 minutes gone by, and Auburn did have a slow start. Bepic, you would know better than almost anyone here that they do tend to have that sometimes. But a couple big misses from UNA, and right back to it are the Tigers.
Yeah, much to my chagrin, that is the case, and they come after that slow start, looking to pick things up, and they will do exactly that. Great setup. Had North Alabama just diving all over the place on their back line. Great second goal.
Fantastic second goal here. Vroco just able to beat there. He's fast. That's a great ball from Bro Turkey as well, and one too many attempts there for UNA to slow down. They ran out of back post defenders.
And here's Hub, wants to get something going again for UNA. Pass over to Gallion, but to the corner wall, kind of gives that up, and Vroco going to control this beautifully, getting it through one, and a strong touch off the corner. Actually, just going to allow him to set up Bro Turkey for the goal. That was something you don't see every day.
Yeah, that's, a very interesting play. Gallion's pinch just... goes straight back down and just happens to catch a Vroco. I don't really have a call for that one, Bepic.
Fair enough, is all I'll say to that. And UNA really now having to stop the bleeding. Gallion definitely the player to do that, but Vroco, a big save and a transition out. That net is open. Vroco missing it. It was a tough shot, but one he's very much capable of hitting. Just wanted to set up Gray for a goal. That's all. 4-1 Auburn.
Yeah, they just wanted to make sure Gray got in the score column there. He nets his first of the series there. Great beat from him, and Red Dead Payne just couldn't quite climb the ladder to reach that one.
And now UNA really, really need to stop the bleeding because a 3-goal deficit is kind of where you start to see teams lose hope of the comeback, or at least the fans and neutral spectators lose hope of a comeback. Still have a game of Rocket League left to be played, and There is optimism on the UNA side. Just have to figure out how to establish themselves in that orange hat because it seems like Auburn is getting those clears out and then forcing chaos on the blue back line.
Auburn took that first goal personally, Bepic, and maybe heard us say that they were having a very slow and, it looked like a lackluster start, and it has been nothing since the offense coming to life. 9 total shots, and we still got 2 minutes left to play, and now it is 5-1. This is kind of the game one we expected, but not really.
All right, there was life early on, but Auburn quickly stamped it out. That's, again, just nice from Broturkey. It's what he does to diminish hope for his opposition. What a double.
Beautiful double. Sneaks it under the squishy save as well. Put it just soft enough. And, yep, Bepic, that's going to cap game number 1. It seems to be the theme of my casting. But go next here. If you are UNA, you had a really good start to game 1. I would say find that start again and then really just work hard to sustain it. The Auburn offense has a lot of room to operate right now.
They do. So much space. So that's a miss. Maybe 1 goal in order for UNA, but couldn't really capitalize it. And then so quickly to the other side into a threatening position. These aren't just transitions that result in a pot shot on net or die out in the corner. These are transitions that look deadly. And speaking of, that was kind of the same boat until Red Deadpan unfortunately couldn't get the read on that ball moving forward. And a chance to score for UNA is, again, stamped out. They'll have to reset and look to venture into the orange half once more.
It was a good reset as Hub with a massive flick in front, but Broturkey able to beat all 3, and that'll leave a 2-on-1 situation at the back. Gray just doesn't have the boost. He'll just have to dump it off in front. Gallion popped it straight up. There's no one in a position to challenge this, and that's a great save from Gallion. Broco with the free look there, but Gallion was ready to make a save. Big demo at mid will slow down this Tigers offense here and keep them from finding goal number 7, at least for now. But the offensive stint is still well alive.
It's just beautiful control. Every single touch that Auburn takes is either a challenge one or a ball into space where a teammate can move up. Even when we saw a demo at the midfield line trying to take away possession for Auburn, Broturkey just slowed it down and kept the ball in the blue half, and it led eventually to this goal of Brazil here in game 1, really starting off this best of 5 with a bang.
It's a good shot, too. Crossbar down there from Gray. Can't put it much better as far as placement goes. But 20 seconds left until both of these teams get a breather. Auburn will be perfectly content to go to game number 2, and we might see an extended break here from UNA. Might want to catch their breath. They've had a couple thrillers, Bepic. Went to game 5 last week. We had our producer, Brandy G, playing for UNA last week. Went all the way to game number 5. And that last series was competitive. This game number 1, not so much.
Nope, Auburn just took control after the first minute and put up 13 shots to UNA's 5. I think the reset scoreboard is going to benefit North Alabama very much, and if they can replicate the beginning of game 1 here in game 2, maybe do it a couple of times over to play like that throughout the entirety of the second game, then we see a much more competitive affair. But if they allow Auburn all kinds of space, time, and if the 50 game of Auburn just continues to dominate, then it might be another quick 3-0.
I definitely agree, and it's going to start with the midfield again. Just too many free balls, be it coming from an infield pass or a loose ball or a backboard pass. Just not enough people up contesting for UNA. Have to do a better job of really making sure Auburn doesn't have these free looks. They don't have the time and space, and it just starts with causing those problems in the midfield.
We saw Demo creep into the game of UNA. It might have gotten possession, but then Auburn was able to play around that. So if maybe can keep things unpredictable, maybe find clears into space, plus the occasional rotational Demo, they can catch Auburn off guard. But once more, it's that 1,000-piece puzzle that UNA is trying to figure out. How do you break down Auburn's midfield game? And honestly, at this point, I don't have a concrete answer.
I don't know if I do either, so we'll see if they can be a little bit more creative than we can. This is a dangerous start, though. Gray's going to have a look. He just hit it right at Red Dead Payne, who just put it back out to Vroko. Good challenge from Hub, and no one up again, and that's a great save from Red Dead Payne. So they're withstanding an early onslaught is UNA, but this is a very threatening start.
Yes, it is, though. There haven't been any real egregious misreads or mistouches. Even right there, Gallen was able to recover from Red Dead Payne's mistouch and then move into the offensive zone. A shot early on from Galleon and still scoreless. That bodes well for UNA, though Auburn still solid touches out into the corners, keeping it in non-lethal spots. And now down the field is Bro Turkey. Couldn't put it on net there. That was an open net. Missed a tough one, yes, but still an open net miss, though it gives space for Auburn to move forward into the offensive zone.
Well, it's a great pop from Gray, and Bepic, there's the first example of a little bit too much space. You have two defenders back, and no one challenges Gray, even as he takes the shot, and Hub just can't quite reach.
It's just, again, the mechanical abilities of Auburn making the difference. It took them one play, honestly, really quickly into the offensive zone to take a lead here. And look at it double it up. Oh no, Bro Turkey and Gray combined their names fittingly for that second goal.
I think Bro Turkey gets bumped into this. He's going for the flipper. He said he doesn't quite. Oh, he does get it. And then Gray, with a friendly bump, just adds the power.
Whatever works. Whatever works for Auburn to put UNA down again early. This time it wasn't really no fast start from UNA. It's just all Auburn, and they are continuing to dominate this series.
Feels like we've been in this one for a while, but just a minute and a half gone by. Gray lost the 50. Galleon, though, just had to dump it to the corner, and as UNA race back, they're going to be met with a full offensive onslaught from the Tigers here. Good read from a Hub, and Galleon up to contest. Bro Turkey, though, won the 50, wanted to stay up, just doesn't quite have the boost. Red Dead Payne with a huge miss, and Gray didn't have the read. And so they will not be punished. A big miss on the back line by UNA will not result in a third goal, and the good rotations this time will save an awkward pinch from ending up in the back of the net.
Ooh, Red Dead Payne needed to make that read. Now Bro Turkey going to be thwarted at the last second, but a little close for comfort there for UNA. And still, the touches on the back line not optimal for UNA, and that is an open net. He felt like it was coming after several mishits transpired in a row, and Auburn going to net their third.
Yeah, Bro Turkey had an open net. Galleon did his best to get back and close the door there, but it still sneaks in. So 3-0 is where the Tigers find themselves here in game number 2. And if you're UNA, you've got to strike back here, or at least hold the Tigers at 3 for a little bit. Buy yourself some time to find some sort of offensive possession or even a non-defensive possession so that you can get back into this one, because time is not your friend at the moment.
Nope. It is not, even though there's still half a game of Rocket League to play. That seems like a very short span of time to get 3 goals against Auburn when only 1 has been scored so far, and Gray wants to make it 4, but no can do. The defense will get in the way right there, and Red Dead Payne beaten in that instance. We'll have to reset from the back line while Hub takes it down the field, looking for a double. No, not for him, but for Galleon. And that shot off to the side, just too quick to the balls. Auburn so fast to challenge.
Great pop from Vroko on low boost, but he'll have to watch as Hub comes flying in and plays it into the corner here. Red Dead Payne, one good touch, but Vroko launches off that back wall, and that's how you leave no space. Pass off to Gray, did not quite come through, and that's a good defensive stand on a transition. Another good save comes through for UNA. The defense starting to look a little bit less shaky, Bepic.
Well, they're going to need that to stand, as well as find some kind of a transitional offense, because, well, that's a solid 50. I was going to make a point that every time they move into the orange end, they're met immediately with a challenge won by Auburn, but finally, couple in a row. What can UNA do with it? And the answer, Nothing so far. That's pinched out to the side where Gray is, and he'll beat Red Dead Pain in that instance. And it's just a bit too easy in the midfield for the Tigers. They are on easy street at the moment.
On easy street and coasting to a game number 2 win, so it'll likely require a reverse sweep out of UNA, which I don't think any of us really see happening against the Tigers. It's series definitely not over just yet. Great save from Bro Turkey there to continue to have that 0 on the UNA scoreline. But could possibly take game number 3 if the defense plays like this, Epic. But as you've said, only 1 goal scored on the Tigers thus far, and on cue, they make it 2.
Well, hey, they caught out Auburn again. It's one of those where you capitalize on mistakes. It's a way back into a series. And North Alabama obviously can't rely on that moving forward into game 3, but it's something. It's momentum in your camp, something to build upon to keep the comms a bit lighter. But it is still a difficult situation when you've got that man right there, and also that other man right there. Gray and Bro Turkey have looked deadly in this series, and they matched that last goal immediately.
Wow. Bro Turkey to Gray here, and again, the placement crossbar down. This one does catch the floor a little bit, but it will end up in the back of the net. So not quite picture perfect, but I just like being picky with Gray because I know what he's capable of here, and he will be perfectly content with that one. So 4-1 is the scoreline. These last 6 seconds won't change the result of this game, and now UNA back to that reset button. And really, Bepic, the early question is, can you slow down the Tigers in the first 2 minutes of a game?
I don't know. I think if you can catch them off guard, yes. If they make mistakes, yes. But so far, neither of those two things have happened. And another 10 shots, double digits affair to single digits out of UNA. It's tough to come by offense for North Alabama, and it starts in that midfield once again. They're going to have to shift the tides in that battle of the field if they are going to do anything on the offensive end.
Yeah, play like they did in the last 3 minutes. They're really contest everything, start facilitating some opportunities. Again, they don't have to be picture-perfect looks, but the more opportunities you get, the more defense that means the Tigers have to play, which means you're on defense less. So we'll see if they can work that process out, and we're headed back down to the pitch for game number 3. Trying to avoid the sweep is UNA, and perfectly content to take a sweep are the Auburn Tigers.
Well, they will. Let's just see if they get too confident for their own good. We've seen teams do that. I have a feeling not going to happen, though. These boys enjoy playing solid Rocket League, I think, more than extremely flashy Rocket League. And while there's a bit of flash to that play right there, it is a solid pass and shoot.
Yeah, that is a great shot from Gray beating Hub there. What an angle. And, of course, Rocco knows his teammates capable of scoring that one. And, well, Epic, that one answered one of my questions. Can UNA slow down Auburn in the first 2 minutes of a game? And that one is not in the back of the net just yet, and it won't get in. Is Galleon able to make the save? But the answer is no.
Oh. No, especially not with that rocket that was boomed off the crossbar. Somebody need to check that for bendage, if that's even a word. It's a ball, I'm sure, close to breaking it in that instance, and Auburn close to breaking UNA down in this series completely if they can just keep the possession play going on the offensive end. So far they have throughout the first 60 seconds. Still nothing to come by in the offensive end for UNA.
Nothing to come by on that end, and a lot of defense being played, and somehow there's no second goal. And I think the crossbar and the posts are playing on the side of UNA.
Oh, no.
Double flip. Is that a triple flip reset?
Wow. All right, well, I talked about how they limit their flashiness. That was pretty dang flashy from Gray. Couldn't score it, though, so I'm disappointed in him. But maybe he'll get it later on in this game. If UNA allows it, so far their defense solid enough, keeping things manageable despite an array of shots, and there is the second finally finding its way to the back of the net.
Just too much pressure, Bepic. Couldn't escape their own defensive third. I mean, you got a team bump, and then Bro Turkey erases one, bumps the other. That one's going to end up in the back of the net 10 out of 10 times.
especially with Gray behind it. He has been hitting almost everything in this series. The entirety of Auburn has, and UNA, I just need something at this point. I don't know how many times we can say it, Volts. They need something going, anything, a spark to light the fire in the final 3 minutes. Oh,
Well, that is a flame killer. There is our reactions tell the story. Bro Turkey from his own goal line, doubled off the backboard and in. Yeah, that's probably going to be the icing on the cake, Epic.
yeah, we just kind of had to pause and watch him hit that. That was, again, just a pretty shot. 3 minutes to go here. And Auburn cementing themselves as the #1 team in Group A. They already had clinched the #1 seed, but they are, most certainly, by a fairly wide margin, the best team in Group A. And the prospect of an Alabama versus Auburn Grand Finals on land in just about 2 weeks is looking very, very likely at the moment.
It is. We said UNA was the third best team here in this league, and I would agree with you, Epic. I think they are here, but this is just showing the gap between the 2 and 3 teams here. And whether you want to make the argument that Auburn is the 1 seed or is the 2 seed overall, I don't think it really matters. The 1 and 2 are clearly on different levels compared to the rest of the field, and it's just incredible to actually see the difference.
The worst thing that could happen to Alabama or Auburn is they don't take their series next week seriously, and they flub their spot to play on land, because at this point in the Rocket League competitive landscape, we all want to either play or cast or go to a LAN, and that's the dream for these guys. They need to make sure they see it all the way through. Galleon gets one on the board. Hey, maybe. We saw a late stage comeback in Game 3 of the last series. Maybe it happens here.
I would say, speaking of seeing things all the way through here, this one's not over. There's still 2 minutes and 8 seconds, which in Rocket League is an eternity here. So Auburn cannot quite look past this series just yet, because again, momentum is a thing in Rocket League, and it will carry on a week-to-week basis. But what an attempt from Gray. Great defense there to shut the door on him, but yeah, gotta be careful here as UNA still playing hard till the very end. Gray's up one more time. One flip reset into the back of the net, and all right, now they can start to look ahead.
It's not a triple, though, so I'm not at all impressed by this play.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
Yep. Gray is going to need to step it up moving forward, and Auburn, I think they've done enough stepping up in this best of 5. Last 100 seconds, formality.
This does set up a fantastic Auburn versus Alabama matchup potential,
Yes.
as you talked about, though, Bepic, because we've seen some of the mechanics out of this Auburn squad that we don't normally see, and it's very reminiscent of how Buck and Brock play over on that Alabama squad. While one squad reserves their mechanics, I think I've seen Brock attempt and hit almost all of these shots on a regular basis. So can't wait to see them all on the same pitch. Something's got to give somewhere.
So this sets up our last series of the afternoon, now into evening, quite nicely. I'm excited because we've seen 2 stomps, 2 quick 3-game best of 5s where Alabama and Auburn kind of dominated. But we've got UAB and we've got USA fighting for a playoff spot, Volts, in the next one. And I think they're going to kind of counteract the 2 sweeps we've seen in terms of complete entertainment value. That should be a banger coming up.
Oh, it's definitely going to be there. And Bepic, I believe you already did the math on what the outcomes of that series would need to be for some things to happen.
Yes, so I believe, and of course, we all know Bepic can get things wrong sometimes, that USA has to win that best of 5 in 4 games or better in order to jump over UAB and clinch their spot in playoffs playing Auburn next week. That's a rude awakening. You make it to playoffs, you're celebrating, and you have to play Auburn in that series later on. But if they do it in convincing fashion, they can make it easy on themselves and get that wave of momentum going forward. But as a 6th goal has gone in here, Volts, you need a lot of momentum to play Auburn well.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of momentum, some favors from the Rocket League gods, and a lot is going to need to go right, especially after watching the reminder that Auburn just gave everyone of what they're capable of. So, yep, that is going to be quite the storyline, I would say.
17-3, the final goal tally in that series, and I think everyone here is excited to watch this next best of 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and send us to a break as we get that set up so we can get it on your screens ASAP. UAB versus USA coming up in just a bit. Don't you dare leave the UNA esports stream.
she found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to
Welcome back to the main stage Rocket League. This is the series we have all been waiting for, Volts. UAB versus USA for a spot in the playoffs. It doesn't get much closer than this.
It doesn't get much closer than this. Indeed, it was a little bit of an extended break, Epic. So if you want to go ahead and recap our potential scenarios here, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, Brandy's kind of sweating right now in the background, depending on what happens in this series, because I said before we went to the break, if it's a Game 4 or better USA makes it, that was wrong. They have to sweep to guarantee their spot immediately following this series. If it goes to Game 5, then UAB gets in, or if UAB wins, then they just get in immediately. If it goes to Game 4, though, we go to head-to-head, which would be 1-1. Both teams have won in 4 games. And then it would go to game differential, which would be even. Then we would go to goal differential, which, as it stands right now, is very, very close. So after that, it might be a coin flip. But we are nowhere near that yet, Volts. We still have Rocket League yet to be played.
Yes, we do. So we'll see what the outcome is here. It's going to be USA in blue, UAB in orange, and Epic, we've had two, let's be real here, 2 stomps so far as series goes, and this one should be a little bit better.
Well, we'll see. Already, back and forth, no goals in the first 20 seconds, and Bourbon wants to change that. Couldn't make contact there, and Booman was able to step forward and get a touch on that ball. Alpha Shack rotating out. Buster taken under his control, shut down by Bourbon. And Booman just booming it back. Both sides feeling each other out at the moment. Wait to see if the other makes a mistake or a pop-off play happens. Nothing doing. This one feels like a true game 1.
Yes, it does, and a good beat by Alpha Shack will put this team in orange. UAB is up 1-0.
And there's the mistake. Booman comes in as last man, doesn't get a touch, and it is a UAB lead. That's got to feel good to start us off in that fashion. A solo play mistake. It was everything I said we were waiting for. Volts and off the kickoff, almost a second.
That would have been a huge second goal here. This Jag squad, again, was on the receiving end of a beatdown. Bepic, it's tough to mentally overcome, but it is not the same opponent, not anywhere close. So have to respond to this adversity here early. And right now, trying to do their best. That's some good back wall defense, and Alpha Shack with a great pinch out back to that midfield area.
Oh, great midfield control from South Alabama there to set up an offense, but miscommunication might end it. Fortunately, Booman in the area and takes it away from 2 potential orange carriers. Oh, Alpha Shack now with full control and can't quite get it through. Nathan Jones, smart pass, but again, a USA player right there to snuff it out, not allow a quick transition. Maybe the tide's starting to shift here, though. That's a couple of quick wins by UAB in the midfield to end that.
Dangerous spiral in front. Good save from Booman. Still in that box. And finally back out. Buster with a big clearance now all the way down into the orange corner. Trying to stay on. He will not be able to grab that corner boost. And Alpha Shack, that was a bold take in front. It causes 2 to commit. And now Leadley is going to have to slow down and play some back wall defense. Back into the orange box. Back into the orange corner we go.
Nathan Jones, missed touch right there. He had some crucial misses against Alabama earlier on today. And that one, no different. Not conceding a goal, but it concedes pressure away. And UAB can look to double their lead. But out of the corner, Nathan Jones taking that strong hit and turning it into a chance. Bourbon, last man back in time. Now a crucial 50. Buster will keep it in the offensive zone for South Alabama. Booman pops straight up. Off the ceiling and down. Nathan Jones in there. Gets the demo, but not the ball. Buster, a miss, will slow down this USA offensive.
Nathan playing it slow in the midfield. Past one, can't get past the second. It's a great save. Buster's follow-up is too slow, though, to commit. And so that will force Lee again to be in an awkward situation as the defense strong, but a couple mistakes have caused them to have some trouble to escape the zone with any menace behind it.
And they had their chance there, but Liebel forced a restart from the midfield line. And now Bourbon to that corner. Booman, the pop around Alpha Shack, but a win from the UAB representative will force us back into boomer ball mode. Strong touches out to the sides and into either half. Again, just kind of waiting on that mistake or a potential moment to solo play. Alpha Shack likes to take the strong hit instead of set up a solo play like he had earlier on, and we will start once more from the orange box. This is a lot closer. I'm so happy to see we got a tight series on our hands.
Tight series and a tight game one, as this one is far from done here. One goal from either side can change the landscape of how this one looks. Nathan slows it in the corner. Bourbon will get it out temporarily. Buster with a good pinch. Buster's going to have a read on this as well. 3-4 go, and no one finds a touch, and that will benefit the UAB defense because they were definitely exposed there.
Lots of chances not finding their way in. That's 10 shots from USA, but 9 of those saved, 1 off target. UAB pitching a phenomenal shutout right here, and they can waste a lot of time off this clock with a couple of 50s won. But that one out to the side, and Booman should have control if he still has a car, which he does not. Buster has his teammates back, though, and will 50 that into the corner. Under 30 seconds left to play. Crucial moments here in game one.
Crucial moments indeed, and that's a good clearance. Alpha played it to the side. He's just kind of wasting some time. That east to west movement here is time is in the favor of UAB. Good beat as well. Bourbon to turn on it. Couldn't quite take the 50, and Booman counterattack time. He actually got this one in front, and he'll be able to put it away. Kept all his momentum and made zero boost work.
Oh no, what a huge mistake. Liebly thought they could grab boost at the center line and get back in time, and that was not the case. Great awareness from Booman, taking that shot while avoiding the demo. Huge equalizer for South Alabama.
Massive, massive equalizer, and now overtime here. Can UAB recover from a mistake, or does South Alabama steal this one?
Well, if South Alabama wins this, it'll make their road to playoffs a bit easier, as if they drop it, they'll have to essentially reverse sweep or win 3 straight. Almost dropped it there, but Nathan Jones, a big save.
That's a massive save. Counterattack incoming. Liebly played it back in front. All 3 win. That's a triple fake. Nathan in front, and that one will be the end of game 1.
What a comeback! The guts of Nathan Jones to fake all 3 defenders, and then Liebly was still in the area, 50 them into high heaven, and set up their teammate for success. Oh, that was phenomenal. USA coming right back in the closing seconds of game 1.
That is incredible. What a fake there. All 3 went flying past. I wish he would have been able to walk it in. He deserved to walk that one in himself, but he'll be happy with the result either way.
Well, I'm sure they will be, because now they don't have to win 3 straight. Now it's just not easy street, but it's simpler street than it would have been in comparison. Did it off 13 shots. Their offense took a second to get going. Can we talk about the double savior medal from Liebly, though? That is phenomenal work on the back line. Just needed more on the offensive end.
Yeah, this is a fantastic game, number 1. A true toss-up there. It could have gone either way. Both teams had the amount of shots, the quality in their shots, and the defense was playing well on both sides, which is why we went to overtime. But it's going to be who can repeat that performance, and if both teams can, we're going to have another jump ball as a game 2.
I hope they both repeat that performance. That was a fun OT. And reset scoreboard, reset clock. We'll see at the end of this 5-minute period where we stand. UAB trying to bounce back. Early opportunity on net. Nathan Jones took a wide angle there. I guess knew it wouldn't be on target.
Dangerous ball in front. Bourbon had nothing to get it out with. Booman drops it down, and that one is just barely turned away. Buster couldn't quite get there. Little deep. His third man playing cautious here. Neither team's going to want to concede the first goal in this series, especially when it took us so long to find multiple goals last game. This one, though, Buster now trying to put it home. He put it the one place he couldn't. His Lee's backflip will keep it out of the back of the net.
Well, first save of the game for Liebly, following up a 6-save performance. We'll have to make one more and can't. Blue Man, the opener, South Alabama rolling.
Momentum on the side of South Alabama. That's 3 unanswered, and wow, Nathan Jones with a huge bump and still almost didn't end up in the back of the net there, but you'll take them how you can find them. Not even a minute in, and we've got a goal this time around.
I called out Nathan Jones playing against Alabama for having that shaky series. So far, impressive performance and has cemented USA as the team in the lead, both in Game 2 and the series, though it's Buster that wants to extend that lead in the second game. Booman across the box, not on target, has that UAB defense scrambling. The Blazers needing to settle down.
It's a good pop-up in front. Alpha Shack couldn't quite make it play, though. Buster will leave this one. Oh, good fake by Booman, but there's 2 there, and that is a early mistake in the midfield, I would say, Bepic. That was a good chance for a counterattack and some miscommunication, some double commits. Almost bought the backside there of UAB. Both these teams, I would say this looks more resemblance of a game number 1 in the series.
Yeah, it's still that back and forth style, though. A bit more control for South Alabama. They've established themselves as the more dominant offensive team, and that 50 going to cement that status here in Game 2. 2-0, South Alabama second.
Great 50 from Buster, and yeah, just no one there. No one there, and you can credit that one to Buster. It's a good 50. Opponent's dribbling it out. He's just able to pick the right angle to challenge from there. Gets just enough of that one, and then off the kickoff, Nathan Jones going to make it 3-0.
Just like that, USA starting to run away with things. Shows you how fickle Rocket League can be and how important kickoffs can be, because 2-goal deficit, a lot more manageable than a 3-goal deficit, and simply a missed set piece there by Bourbon is what puts the Blazers now in this position.
Nathan Jones had a good pop on that one, but Alpha Shack will be able to turn that one away. Buster beat 1, and then Alpha Shack right back in front. He's having to play most of the defense himself. Wins a huge 50 on that right wall, and now a chance for some kind of offense, but maybe not. Nathan Jones back out. Air dribble. Has plenty in the tank. Flip reset, but he's turned away. I don't know if he got the reset or not. Follow-up won't go, and Bourbon's going to have a weak clearance out that Buster will put right back into the attacking third.
Decent defense from UAB, but they need to find a way to turn that into transition. Misses like that are not going to help. Good bump, though, to set up Bourbon, but Buster, as last man, beat Bourbon to the ball there, and, well, keep this game rolling at a 3-goal deficit for UAB. Tough to come back from. Plenty of time to do it. Just got to start grinding it out from the defensive end.
A good ball back in front, no touch from Buster, but Nathan will play it out to the side before it becomes any harm. Good pinch here, looking for the bump on Bourbon, and that forced Liebly to go in a very awkward situation. He did find a great touch. We'll keep our scoreline at 3-0. Buster, huge demo. The physicality turned up, another big bump, and Bourbon has to just launch this one straight back to midfield.
Booman out to Buster. Trying to put a barrage on the net of Bourbon and company. No can do. Just wasting time at this point. Oh, that's dangerous. I thought Booman had missed that completely, but no, yeah, we're going to have more faith in that instance. Still, the 3-0, and as it stands, that's 12 shots for the Jags and just 2 for the Blazers. Not a great game, too. Make it 13, make it 4-0. Nathan Jones, give him 2.
I mean, what a shot here from Nathan Jones here. He is having himself a fantastic game number 2. That's got some serious speed behind it. 70 miles an hour into the back of the net.
And this series propelling itself towards either a sweep in favor of USA, a Game 4, which Brandy is not hoping for, or a Game 5 thriller that UAB will already have clinched playoffs with. And All three of those narratives seem enticing to me. But right now, this game too, a dominant one for South Alabama. They definitely have all the momentum in this series.
Yeah, this is probably, I mean, based on game number 1, Bepic, I did not see game number 2 getting this out of hand. This might be a 5th one as Alpha Shack and Bourbon will combine to keep that one out of the back of the net. For now, Buster can't quite get on top of it enough, but I mean, with the way this is trending here, you have to come out and hit hard if you're UAB early in game number 3, because this one's over. And if you don't, and you continue to let USA roll, this will end in 3.
And they really haven't found anything offensively either. I mean, just 2 shots, make it now 3. That's 4 rather, but still, there's not been any kind of extended periods of pressure in favor of UAB. It has been them playing defense with the occasional clear out, and when they do clear the zone, they got nothing else to show for it. This has just been a dominance from USA, and that bodes well for them. They can clinch their spot in the playoffs with a win in the next game. Reminder to everyone, but UAB have it in them to bounce back.
Yes, they do. So it's all going to depend on the start and how we get this game number 3 going. If UAB can struggle, or I should say force USA to struggle on that offensive end and in the midfield area, or even pin them back like we saw early in game number 1, then they have a better chance in this series. But if they have to play from behind, it's not going to look too good.
Problem is, they've been playing from behind for, well, not in scoreline-wise, but for the last 9 minutes or so, they have been stuck in the defensive end. It felt like it took a minute for USA to wake up. They woke up, and now we're here.
Yeah, now we are here, but we'll see. Again, it's all about the response. It's all about how UAB starts, and this is a great start. That was a tough no-touch, and just like that, it will bail USA out. The rotation's a little bit deep. That's a good stall at mid, though, and that will allow UAB to stay on offense.
Alpha Shack to net. This is a bit off target, but Nathan Jones still a save, and near the subsequent clearance, but 2 had to get up there to make that touch out. Buster made it, now is chasing the ball down. Bourbon, though, reads it. Though didn't flip into the ball, so no power, and it's right into a South Alabama player, and they'll get a chance to shoot off target. But Booman, a lot of space in the air. Oh, that was a jump from Nathan Jones as well. A little aggressive in that instance, and you play a bit more patient, but still South Alabama with pressure at the moment, and they will look to keep that going.
Yeah, that second jump going to slow down the pressure on net for a minute, but we're in the right area for USA, and all around the net is where they are. They just can't find the back of it. So back and forth. Both of these teams have had a little bit of pressure. This feels much more like what I would have thought game number 2 would have entailed with how these teams played in game number 1. Big whiff there, but Nathan Jones will be able to slow it down and grab some possession on his own end.
Yeah, and Alpha Shack took that away very quickly, put it on net. So already a better start for UAB. They're at least putting pressure on the South Alabama defense, and USA, they're doing well to turn it aside, but it's still pressure and time not spent on the offensive end. So if that keeps going, we may have a return back to our game 1 form for both sides. If not in gameplay style, but in scoreline.
So, Bepic, who's your breakout player for this game? Who's going to be that it factor for their squad?
Well, I want to see UAB make things interesting in this series and not just get dominated, so I'm looking at Alpha Shack to get it going. They have really been, I think, the offensive catalyst for their side, and if they're going to score, it's going to go through Alpha Shack. If they can keep it going scoring-wise, then South Alabama will have to turn, I think, back to Nathan Jones, who had a pop-off game, too. Big reason why that was such a dominant victory for USA, and if he can get going once again, maybe we'll have an Alpha Shack versus Nathan Jones high-stakes matchup on our hands.
Leebly wants to get involved. It's just over, and the follow-up is no good. Bourbon couldn't adjust in mid-air. That's a tough bounce to read. Oh, and that's tough. Boomman with a huge clearance, and it'll be the man himself, Nathan Jones, tracking this one down. He actually got a piece of it. I thought he had a big whiff there, and I was going to have to readjust course. He gets a good touch, but no follow-up, and Boomman was going to have to try to catch this one all the way back on that blue corner.
Ooh, I gotta talk about Leebly for a second. Being pressured in their own net, and then escaping it with the in-and-out route, and then getting a transition out of their defensive half. That was great. Couldn't do anything with it, unfortunately, in the offensive end. Didn't have much of a follow-up, but Their defense has been stout throughout this series. Nathan Jones the same there. Boomman a back pass. Nathan Jones, or to Buster, to someone. Please hit it. Things getting dangerous, and Alpha Shack almost had a free look at the net there.
Terrifying if that would have been goal number 1, and thankfully it is not. Alpha Shack, though, looking for the double, trying to be that it factor, doesn't find it. It was a good fake shot under from Lee Blee, and Alpha Shack has dimed up Lee Blee for goal number 1.
And there it is, Alpha Shack. Their mere presence made Nathan Jones and Buster get all awkward in net. They were scared of the double that might be coming in. Team bump helping out a bit as well in favor of UAB, but still, great presence of mind by Lee Blee as well to be in that position to finish it off, and UAB on the board first in Game 3.
Good pop back mid, trying to find a second is Alpha Shack. That was a great pass from Bourbon, probably the best one I've seen. Huge dunk, and Lee Blee has put it into the back of the net, and now Brandy's really sweating because we are in danger of a game number 4.
From my perspective, I thought Boomman or Buster would beat Lee Blee to that ball, but not the case. Great win. The speed there for the UAB representative. 60 seconds left now. Time for one of those patented huge comebacks from USA, and that is not a good start. Good save from Bourbon.
Great save from Bourbon. This is a dangerous ball in front, and Lee Blee will see the danger out of harm's way, and now Buster trying to cause problems. Boomman wanted Buster, but a miscommunication there. We'll see that one have no extension from defense to offense, and instead it's coming right back down towards this blue. In Bepic, game 4, is now looming.
Yes, it is, and Brandy knows it as well. I just got a DM from him that says no in all caps. He's worried about having to sort out all these tiebreakers, and Bourbon all but sealing Game 3. So UAB and South Alabama going to very, very likely move into a Game 4 where it is win or go home for USA, and UAB just take care of it with ease. They may not win this series, but they'll at least get to playoffs if they take Game 4.
Game number 4 is where we find ourselves. So Boomman with a good drop down banger into the bottom right corner, and maybe one for the road, maybe one to make a last second comeback.
Well, you know, USA, they gotta at least make it interesting for us. Well, they're not just gonna go quietly into the Game 4 that looks to be on the horizon. 19 seconds and 2 goals, not out of the question, especially with the 2 goals in 30 seconds stretch we saw earlier in Game 1.
That save right there, Bepic, will end all hope of a comeback, and so to game number 4 we go. It was just one for the road, but this was a fantastic performance out of UAB. It's what they needed to do. They got it going on the offensive end, and in turn they had to play less defense, and I think that really benefits the way that this group plays.
I am with you 100%. They went from only having 7 shots in Game 1, 5 shots in Game 2, to 13 here in Game 3. That was a stark contrast from the 2 previous 5-minute games that they lost. And if they can do it again, then we go to a Game 5 and have the Blazers in the playoffs. But if they can't do it again, then we have a Game 4 thriller that USA takes, and we go to some fun tiebreakers. Volts, I am so excited for this Game 4. This might be the most intense, might be one of the only times where Game 4 is more intense than Game 5.
I would agree, and for USA, you have to get Boomman at least shooting. Held shotless there. I know we've talked about Nathan Jones, but Boomman has to get involved on the offensive end. He had 1 lone assist on the 1 garbage time goal, and so got to get him involved in some form or fashion. I don't have the way to do it, but I'm just telling you what needs to happen. And so as we head to Forbidden Temple for game number 4, things are about to get interesting.
Oh, this is every caster's dream. Tiebreakers, an intense series, overtimes in this series. There's nothing we would rather be doing right now. And Bourbon may have just flubbed that kickoff. Fortunately, Lee Blee's stoicness on the goal line has been rampant throughout this series. Big save.
Big save, and this is slow play in the corner. Bourbon trying to buy some time, and bought enough time for his squad to get back in on this one. Bourbon one more time. No help in the area. Nathan Jones will play this one long, but it's straight to Lee around Nathan Jones and room to work with until there's not. No regard there. Boomman came diving in, and that's a big miss. Couple big misses. Nathan Jones will have to turn a very slow shot away.
Already starting out better for USA. They're getting looks in the offensive end, though in the corner. Maybe going to strip those looks away from them momentarily. Great demo. And Alpha Shack moving forward. Bourbon with them. We'll have to race back for this transition play. Nathan Jones down the field to Buster, but missed touch will set up Nathan for a second touch, and it is careening into this box. In comes Boom Man, but Alpha Shack there to shut it down. Good defense. Good read. Rewarded with a chance on the blue net. Bourbon's there, but misses the open net. That would have been huge for UAB.
That would have been so huge for UAB. Big demo comes through, and Epic, both of these squads have had good looks at the net here early, and somehow we still find ourselves level, and that's another huge clearance. It won't quite go. What a touch! Facing the wrong direction.
Man, not taking shots on the offensive end as they only have one here so far, but that was an incredible touch on the back line to keep us level here. Buster on target, I believe. Alpha Shack, though, to the opposite side of the field, but Bourbon went flying past there, and Boomman had a free look at the net.
Boomman taking what he can get. Yeah, don't know what happened there. Bourbon just not on track with that one, and it turns into a wide open net, and I mean, take what they'll give you, Boomman. One shot, one or two shots, one goal.
He's involved, Volts. He said that's what needed to happen after the last game where he was held shotless, and so far, 2 and a goal. But Liebly inbound. Buster has 100 boost, though. Takes it away. 1v2 opportunity. Both commit. Where's the follow-up? Nathan Jones going to slow it down. Misread it off the sidewall, even with 60 boost. So UAB a chance to breathe there with that clear as they look to come back from this 1-0 deficit.
Alpha Shack was able to get it down in this corner. It's an awkward touch from Buster, and Boomman will just have to give this one away. Good cutout by Bourbon, but it's only to Nathan Jones, and that will set up some pressure. What a touch from Boomman, and the defense was ready for that one there. Have to respect the chances. Boomman is really creating opportunities. Bourbon almost created an incredible redirect there, but it will miss near post. Nathan Jones up with boost. The fake comes through, and Bourbon is there to keep UAB in this one.
Bourbon has had a couple of misses in this series, but that was a crucial non-miss. And now Liebly, a chance to shoot. Nathan Jones, a big block as Buster was demoed on the back line there by Bourbon. Now, to the other side of things, South Alabama to the box. Nathan Jones finding Liebly in the box. Another huge save from that Blazer.
Buster now with a good beat. He's got 25 to work with, plays it in front, and one more time it's Bourbon who's there to make the big save. Ooh, and it's Liebly now to turn that one away. Bourbon has nothing in the tank. Alpha Shack can't go as well. All three in net scrambling, and Liebly staying calm will flick it past the first one. Tried to get a dunk onto Boomman, but can't quite do it. But his squad's been able to at least find some kind of boost. His redirect almost in, and it's Boomman off that far post.
Oh, the back wall. Boomman, chance to follow his own shot, couldn't get it to go, and now just taking it back. Nathan Jones playing it slow, but Liebly right on his tail. Off the ceiling, a miss there. In comes Bourbon for the score, tying us up with a minute left to play.
Bourbon has definitely had some big misses in this series, Bepic, but when you need him most, he is clutch. He had 2 clutch saves. He now has the only goal for UAB, and just like that, we're tied 1-1.
Here we go. Final 60. We might see an overtime here in Game 4 to decide potentially who goes to playoffs or not. Nathan Jones, a shot to the back of the orange net, and that'll take South Alabama's lead right back.
Liebly just doesn't find the touch on Buster's ball in that corner, and Nathan Jones had one place he could put that where it ends up in the back of the net, and he does it.
All right, quick response. That's crucial for USA's hopes here. Boomman through the corner. Wants a demo. Liebly, big touch right there. Now what can Alpha Shack do? Demo onto Liebly. Bourbon's all alone. Big clearance right down Main Street where Boom Man was there to have it covered. Alpha Shack a big 50 win. Inbound, Liebly, another crucial mistouch. Alpha Shack flipping to the side by accident. You feel like the nerves starting to creep into the game of UAB.
Definitely, definitely. Uncharacteristical side flip and miss there for them. The nerve setting in. It's desperation time. 15 on the clock. You have to have another goal to keep hope alive and not leave it up to the math gods to decide your fate. Booman long clearance will put it on the wrong end of that. And this one will now require 0 seconds. Instead, it's going straight down, and USA will win the series in 4. And Brandy, you got some math to do.
Oh, wow. All right. So we're going down to the 4th tiebreaker. What a comeback from the University of South Alabama. And goal differential is what is going to, or goal scored rather, is going to be what sorts this playoff spot out. So we don't have an answer as to who's going to be playing Auburn next week. We know the UNA versus Alabama match, and that it's going to be Auburn versus whoever scored more goals in their series in Group B. Fultz, what a 4-game set. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fantastic there. It does end in 4, which unfortunately I would have loved to see all 5. However, it was a great series by both teams, and you know, USA looked really, really good when their offense was clicking.
That on both sides, honestly, you could say that about them. Whichever team had those double-digit shots, that was the team that won, and that is going to do it for our triple header here on the main stage. Playoffs all next week across all the esports, I believe, but Rocket League, I know for sure. So hopefully we will see you same time, same place next Friday for Rocket League. But of course, follow UNA Main Stage 2022 on Twitter if you want to watch some League and Valorant competition as well. I've been Mr. Bepic alongside Volt, Brandy G in the background. He's doing the math right now. He'll get it sorted, so make sure you follow UNA Main Stage on Twitter again for that result. See you next time.